Hello and welcome back to the Sleuth.
Philip was talking.
I hope everybody.
Welcome back, and Lane will kick us off with the Bible trivia.
Hello, Bears.
Who
Welcome back
wrote
to
the
Sleuth.
book of Acts?
Paul.
No.
Luke.
You
Yes.
got to stick with your first answer, unfortunately.
It
It's
is
Luke, though.
It is Luke.
It is Luke.
It's easy to say that after I say no to
It was an easy question, but it was the first one I saw, and I didn't
We
want to
talked
cheat just because
about-
I already knew it. We can do it.
I think we've already done that for another one before, right?
What did the daughter of Herodias ask Herod to give her?
John the Baptist's head.
I'm not there yet.
The head of John the Baptist.
We did. We did that.
14:8.
We did Who Wrote Acts for an unreleased.
Should we start just doing like the whole card?
Yes.
I'm down.
Into whose bag of grain did Joseph put a silver cup?
Benjamin's.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Jacob.
I know it now. It took me a minute.
Well, don't. Did
Yeah,
you look
no,
at
it is.
answer?
It is Benjamin. No, I didn't look at the answer. Yeah, it is Benjamin. You're right. I wasn't even thinking.
What's that from?
It's Old Testament Joseph.
Yeah, what?
So,
He was the youngest
King
child.
of Dreams.
well, so no,
He
it
the
was.
nicest.
I meant like the story.
So it was
Famine.
Joseph in the coat of many colors. This is in Genesis. The Pharaoh, or his brothers sell him into slavery. He goes to Egypt. He basically works his way up to be like Pharaoh's, or was it
Second
king?
in command.
Is it king of Egypt at that point? Or is it Pharaoh? Whatever. The leader of Egypt. He becomes
He
like
became.
It's called
he
King
becomes
of Dreams.
like second
Yeah.
in command.
Right hand man.
He becomes like second in command. And then there's a big famine across the land, but Joseph, who can like interpret dreams, foresees this, and so Egypt stockpiles all the grain. So they're like chilling during the famine. No one else could do this though, so a bunch of people are coming to Egypt like, please give us your grain. Basically like immigrants coming to America. Like,
Yeah.
please give us healthcare. Some of the people who come to Egypt are his old brothers who sold him into slavery. And they come into his court, and they don't even recognize him. They're like, oh, great one, you're second in command, please give us food. And he's like, I will give you food. He's like, I'll give you food, and I'll give you bags of grain. But he put a silver coin in Benjamin's bag
Oh, I do remember that.
to test them. And then he comes to them later, like a day later, and he's like, one of you stole from me, I know it. And they're like, no, we would never steal from you. And he's like, I know you did, and whoever it is, I'm going to take back. And then he put it in Benjamin because he knew he was the youngest, and his dad loved him the most.
Yeah.
And so, because he's the youngest. And so then he's like, Benjamin took it, I'm going to steal him. And then the brother's like, no, please don't. And then he's like, I'm Joseph. And they're like, what? And he's like, get pranked.
Yeah.
So, sorry for the long
No,
story
it's one of the
there,
best
but I tried to
stories.
tell it
There's
fast.
a movie.
We don't even have to
Except
do the
the
rest of the
end of
cards because that
Genesis.
took so long.
What are we talking about?
So this week, Ross...
No, you were gonna lead this one.
Oh,
It's,
no.
it's-
This is all you, my friend.
We're talking about secular entertainment, so like an example could be like music. Like, should Christians
You got some
listen?
interesting ideas on this one, right?
Oh.
I mean, we're just discussing. There does not have to be any interesting, but like, should Christians listen to it?
explain just to give some lore.
So, like, an example would be, should Christians listen to, like, rap music where it talks about, like, murder and, like, shooting and, like, drugs and sex, and there's a lot of cuss words and all that stuff. I mean, I could say my take pretty quickly, but I don't know if I want to.
Please do.
That's what this is about. For
Right?
That's
Okay.
the point of this podcast.
My take is, it is fine to, like, listen to music like that, or like listen to movies that, or like watch TV shows that don't have like Christian values, as long as it does not make you worse. That's my take.
It's doing it subconsciously, though.
Does it, like, are you asking if doing it subconsciously makes you worse? Or?
No, I'm saying it's making you worse subconsciously.
Yeah. I mean, it
So
could,
then why do you do it?
So
It
I just
could-
destroyed your entire argument.
And
but no,
number two...
it doesn't necessarily make you worse, though.
Well, you just said yeah.
It makes
No.
you worse subconsciously.
So if you watch,
How did this become a 3v1 already?
We're a minute in.
That was the first word I said.
I mean, it's not, but I'm saying, like, okay, so you watch, for example, like,
Guardians of the
Ant-Man.
Galaxy.
You watched Ant-Man, the new one, and like the wife, like, while she was married, she was in the quantum realm, and like she was having sex with this other person. Like, do you think that's gonna make you worse subconsciously by watching that?
I think probably.
So then why do you watch it?
That's what we're talking about.
So do you take issue with, like, do you think Christians should not?
I don't know.
Well, also, Ross, so I think the subconscious element, but also, like, should you be financially supporting institutions that not only don't have Christian values, but have
Corrupt
anti-Christian values?
I agree.
Like, should we be financially supporting them? Such as going to Target every day.
Yeah. I mean, some interesting questions for sure. You could also say the same. During my 21st birthday, I was at Sunday
Which I was
school.
not invited to.
Same.
This is during my actual birthday.
But I was also not invited.
Which
Wasn't
was on
invited
a Sunday.
to either of the birthday parties.
It was on a-
Actual or his fake one.
It was on a Sunday.
And I told his mom, and she was very upset.
It was on a Sunday, and I was working an 8-hour shift. But before that, I went to Sunday school and church, and I said it was my 21st birthday. And then I said, basically, my life does not change, except maybe a couple times I'll go to a casino with, like, some friends, which I kind of figured that maybe I'd get, like, the response I got, but it sparked a massive debate.
Really?
Because, and one of the things was, like, well, you're, like, giving money to, like, these people, and he's saying, like, every single dollar that, like, God gives us, we should only use to glorify God. And this guy...
Ask them where they got their clothes.
Oh, no, I know. Like,
Tell me you scorched him.
I did. This guy, like,
Was he
reads...
like, trying to like?
this
look,
is a
was he
big
trying to look
fiction
cool in
book
front of
reader.
girls or something?
What did you say?
Maybe. I'm like, I mean, it's just like, to me, it's just entertainment. Like, you read all these, like, fiction books that you always talk about. Like, you're watching all these movies. Like, do you think God wants you to, like, spend your money? Will you do that?
What did he say?
No response.
Yeah, I mean exactly.
What companies...
Gambling is
Like-
good.
At the same... I don't know if this is a good argument, but...
No, it is a good argument. What you
How do you live
It
in the
is.
world when all
It
the
is.
companies have
Small
anti-Christian
business.
It's tough.
values?
Or at least
Small
people in that
business,
company
farmers
will.
markets.
But then
things
it's
like
so
that.
much more expensive,
Support
though.
local. It is.
Where'd you
but
get that shirt? Where'd you get that phone?
I mean, like when you can. Like,
Yeah, the domino just fell out. From the Phil.
I mean, not really. Like,
You see,
obviously
but
not
no,
for
I'm
every
sa-
single
I'm-
thing.
Phil,
But
but you. But
That's
it
what I'm
doesn't
saying.
have-
Like, if
I mean,
you
that's
don't,
not
if you don't do it
practical.
for all, then it's not worth doing for one. Maybe. I don't know,
Also,
maybe.
none of us do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know
no,
anyone
I'm-
that does
no,
it.
but
I would say
think
the only
like,
people that do it
if
is
you're worried
Amish
about
people.
it, then like it would
Or
definitely.
I-
Honestly,
lessen the
that's
flow.
still up in the air now.
maybe Jews, like, they buy all kosher stuff. So, in a way,
Jews.
No.
you don't think
Yeah,
so?
what?
Ross, kosher does not mean small business. It means it
Well-
has meat that they can eat.
But all the products, like, it was a Jewish company that's, like, blessing it or something, right? I don't really know the
Jewish
inside.
food.
of
I
how
mean,
it
I feel
works.
like
Jesus would scorch them.
I feel like Jews use Amazon, personally.
Yeah.
And
But,
probably
like, with their food,
I don't think
though,
Gary's lawn
right?
service was kosher.
Or it's only meat.
Have you ever seen a Jew with
Is
an
it?
iPhone?
No, wait. What is? Is it all their
Kosher
food?
is the meat. Yeah,
Well, are we
kosher
talking,
means meat. Like,
are we
it
talking
doesn't
about
have like pork in
entertainment
it or
just,
something.
like,
So
Well,
kosher
what
salt is
entertainment
not.
shopping
less?
is also different. Than
I don't know. Maybe you're
This
right. I don't know,
It's
man.
in the,
I thought
it is
I just thought it
100%
meant like
the
it's
same
cooked,
ballpark, at
not with like
least.
It's entertainment.
pig oil or something.
Well, like we're talking about.
I don't
should
know.
we
Is
give
salt
money?
cooked?
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Bro, what is?
Should we give money to institutions that are
Non-Christian.
anti-Christian? Let's apply that logic to food or things we buy every day. It's
Gotta
the
live off the
same.
land.
Which is every company. No,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you're
No.
financially dependent
Yeah.
and can or independent,
It is.
I
in
just
today's
kicked a cheese
society,
ball under the couch.
It is definitely very hard to avoid. And then it's like, can you work for a company that doesn't have like those Christian values and stuff? Like,
But is the answer to make your own clothes, grow your own food?
I don't know.
Is that
how
the answer?
to make my own clothes?
I mean,
But at the same time, what if I get sick and I have to use a hospital? I guess there are Christian hospitals, but like, what if there's?
I feel like it just like there's context too. Context matters. Like,
I mean, I think whenever
like
you
as
can.
a Christian, do I think that you should just like go around listening to like hateful music all the time, just like constantly listening to DMX? No, but I still will in the gym because it's like.
Yeah, music is a big one.
Like, it's context. Like, there's just different times.
Music is the way to the soul.
Yeah. No, music is definitely one where, like, recently, like, I still listen to other music, but I've been very big on Christian music.
You hate Christian gym.
I do not listen
It's
to that
true.
playlist,
Built
though.
into
But I
it.
do listen. I have been
I
listening
mean,
to some old
it doesn't
Christian.
get me pumped up. Like, I need something that'll pump me up in the
Well,
gym.
but
Yeah, I
it's
think
Satan
that's
that's
Kanye.
pumping you up if you don't listen
Yeah,
to Christian
is
gym.
Satan worth it if the context is right?
But is trying to reach my physical peak.
God
A
will
bad
give you
thing?
strength.
By selling your soul.
I will
yes.
strengthen you.
I mean,
It says that in
I'm
Isaiah
not selling my
41:10.
soul.
Satan wants you to be ripped.
I will say, out of all the secular entertainment that we could like talk about, that's like obviously like I'm not going to count like porn and stuff because I think everybody could agree that's bad. But like music is probably like it has the most subconscious influence because like if a song is stuck in
I
your
think
head,
What
music-
about Ant-Man 3?
It's just on your
movies.
mind.
I think movies.
I think music is
And TV.
way bigger.
Well, actually, I saw this video one
I mean-
time, and these people hired these marketers to create a logo for their
Atrio?
brand. And they secretly filmed them. It was like a show. They secretly filmed them on the way to the meeting and put up different posters and different signs and had different people around them on the way to the office where the location was. And they predicted the logos they would draw and they got it right. That's what subconscious, like, subliminal marketing.
So
That's what this subconscious I'm talking about.
So you're saying
with
that
stuff
people
in
just,
the
like,
media.
on their route, like there's all these like factors that were just like there, like people, billboards or whatever, and then they knew that they
was
knew what logo
predestined
they were gonna
in a
draw.
way.
Yes, they predicted. They drew the logo. They were like,
Oh,
draw a
select one?
logo. No. They were like, we drew this logo. We have it in the back here. Now they're gonna draw a logo, and we're gonna compare them. And they were literally exactly the same.
It was
They predicted.
predestined.
Wow,
Yeah. So that's the subconscious and
no.
subliminal stuff that I'm talking about.
it is.
It's like Illuminati stuff.
it is
MK
very
Ultra.
there with music, I think, and that's why
DMT.
I've been definitely trying to
If
get
you
away.
play
But Jim
Dead or
is still.
Alive backwards.
Well, no, I mean, yeah. So, but I mean, that's like the question. I mean, go to like one extreme. Like, should Christians listen to music that like glorifies sex and
Yeah.
drug use?
And I mean, it's probably not. Like, I'm not saying it's going to guarantee, but they're probably.
I mean,
I
I
think
don't
would
think
be
it sends you to
what
hell. But
Jesus-
like,
oh,
listen
obviously
to it.
not.
right. Well,
No.
and the answer is obviously no.
So-
Would Jesus watch Ant-Man 3? No,
And it's also like
He
whenever
wouldn't?
you're
he would not.
Doesn't care about the MCU.
whenever you're hearing these.
Would
like,
Jesus
songs
eat this
too-
cheese ball though?
Exactly. No, and that's like the rabbit hole you go down.
Yeah.
Would he watch The Chosen?
No.
And no,
It's
and
more
once you
than-
get
it's
the
more
problem
than-
is with that rabbit hole. Once you go down that rabbit hole, it's like you can't live. It seems like whenever it's like
yeah, you're
that,
dependent on stuff.
whenever it was that one guy
that's
from my
outside. Like I
Sunday
can't
school.
right now just start living off the land. Like I would have to buy tools and stuff like that. That would probably support.
But I mean, I think like
Anti-Christian
there
values.
are like reasonable steps you can take.
Oh, for sure. But
Yeah,
whenever
that's what I meant. Like whenever I said like small business, like you can like try your best to move away from it if it's like really,
Yeah.
if it really bothers you. Like you can shop at like Christian small business.
I mean, yeah,
obviously for
like,
like non-essential.
You can like cancel your Netflix subscription.
yeah, they're like non-essential things that you can like get from like other places.
So what do we do?
Get flip phones.
That is a good step.
I really don't know the answer to this, but
yeah. I mean,
I
it's
don't
just
know.
as long as you're like being conscious about
It
it
will
and
look
you're
different
trying
for
to
every
like.
person.
But like,
What
we're
about the
not. The problem is we're
subconscious
not
part?
conscious because we just watched Ant-Man 3 and listened to like a Kanye West compilation on YouTube
See,
where he
okay,
talks about sex and
but
drugs.
here's the thing.
Well,
Russell
is it
say-
Kanye's Christian though, so it doesn't matter.
No, I mean, out of Kanye, whenever I listen to Kanye, most of the time, if I'm with people, it's different, and that's the hard part too. Like, how do you, if you're in a setting and you're with people, and they're listening to music that like you don't like, I mean, in my opinion, like, I don't think it's worth it to be like, turn this off. They're talking about sex or something. Like, and I think that it's also you would want to be with your friends.
I think it depends.
Depends
Like, I mean,
yeah,
like,
Ross wouldn't do that.
Like, if you're
He
with
wouldn't go that
us, like, I think it would be okay.
I 100% will tell somebody to turn off Ram Branch if they play it when I'm in the car.
Okay, but that's different because that's a bad song.
There are
though,
lines.
far.
There
I
are
don't know
lines
the
that
answer
should
to
that
this
could be
question,
drawn.
to be honest.
But like, and if you're like limiting everything, like, would Jesus do this?
I mean, but it's
Like,
also
you can't
Ross.
really have like fellowship with a lot of people because a lot of people aren't trying to walk that way, and it like just it's like, how do you be friends with somebody if like you're so sheltered? in,
But
like,
I
your
don't
life?
think it's sheltered. I mean, like, I don't think having convictions is sheltered.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's like, if you're thinking in your head, like, you know, would Jesus buy this? Like, and the option is like, should I get this like frozen lemonade that will like make me happy or something? Or no, Jesus would get water or something. And it's just like, you eventually, like, I think that we could enjoy some things as long as they aren't like sinful. Like, I don't think it's sinful to watch a movie, but it is a problem if that movie is making me like worse. But like, if I watch a movie,
What if it is, though?
And I feel like it is every time. Like, it's normalizing it. Like,
but we know it's so. Do you watch a movie and it's like
okay,
they do
like,
something
maybe it
that
doesn't
you're
affect
against,
us,
like
but
they're
like,
drinking and it's I need to drink.
Whenever
alcohol.
Ant-Man was walking in the city at the end, I don't know if you guys noticed, but one of the businesses was like a
it was
gay
gay
flag,
pride.
like pride.
No, I know.
business.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that's
you noticed it.
I did not notice.
No, I know. I saw
It is like it normalizes things.
No,
like
it
that.
does. And like TV and like Friends heavily normalized like masturbation and just porn
And sex.
and sex,
Oh,
but
yeah.
sex. I mean, but like talking about porn, like that like before like and it wasn't just Friends, but I mean Friends was, like the major thing in the '90s and Seinfeld too. Probably I haven't watched Seinfeld that much, so I don't know if they talk about it. But like just like people
Sure
like
about
just
that,
like being like so like open, like oh yeah. I watch porn all the time, and like talking about masturbation, like all and like just
Or
normalizing
just
that
hookup
culture.
yeah.
Hookup culture in general. Yeah, like TV shows and movies and music like dictate culture and dictate like oh that's okay now, like gay
100%.
characters on TV
Yeah,
heavily
it's like,
paved the
oh
way
wow,
for
this
gay
seems
acceptance
really
in America.
common.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It's like, oh, I see it in every show. It must be
I know
really
exactly.
common.
And so it's like, should we watch even if like you
I
see
mean, we're supporting it.
Ross and Chandler talk about watching porn, like even if that doesn't make you want to watch porn, should we watch content like that? I don't know the answer, but I'm just asking the question.
No, I mean, yeah.
You know,
There's obviously going to be a lot of I don't knows.
well, that's
We don't have all the
that's the
answers.
point.
Yeah. It is like that with Friends, which sucks. I do love the show so much, but like there are times when it's like, man, like it is too much because every single episode, it just feels like it's about sex. Yeah.
It's because it is. I think from what I've seen.
No, I mean it pretty much is, and I talk to my grandma a lot about it because she likes the show, but it's just too much for her because she's like, oh, it's terrible, and it did definitely
Nani?
lead to a cultural change. Yes, my Nani.
But I mean, it's also. I mean, think about like WandaVision. Not even WandaVision, but just like shows in like the 50s and 60s. Like WandaVision is just so clear because you can see the progression. But like on TV, like it used to be like the law, or not even the law, but like the
it was.
broadcasting that
Yeah.
you cannot show a man and woman sleeping in the same bed on
Yeah.
TV.
And
Like
then they push it back.
60
And
years
then they
ago,
push it back.
and it's like, and
Push it
now
back.
there's like women dancing around in underwear every other commercial break.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
it's insane,
Every
right?
show, like every.
And that it's just normalizing sex, normalizing drinking,
There are
normalizing
commercials that where I'm like, bro,
everything,
this is
gay
like
stuff.
too far. Like,
No, I
there's
know.
so many commercials.
and that is where
So what do we
society
do?
goes.
Go
I
back.
I don't know. It's not good though. I
It
know
is.
that much.
Yeah.
Talk to people about make a podcast complaining about it. Maybe that will change things.
It has to happen.
I mean, I think the best way. I'm not going to list them all.
I mean, you just
but
don't participate in it.
and in 2 Peter chapter 1, I keep on mentioning this.
My kids will
But
grow up in
it
a
tells you like
box.
a list of things that you should do, and like in doing those, like it'll make you be more Christ-like. It's like just basically doing what read the word, pray, do all these things, like it 100% helps with your brain, and it will make you like not want to do other things. And then it's like, if I'm thinking about like God and stuff, it's gonna like, I'm not listening to the music that's in the background. If like I'm like shopping or something, it's just like, just as long as you're exposing, like if I'm exposed to like all this stuff and like things I should be listening to, then it's gonna be in your head and it's gonna like, it's like armor and ammunition against all the bad stuff.
I mean, and Satan uses every like opportunity he gets, and like it's every little bit, like every time you see someone like talking about sex or having sex more, and like normalizing, like it's normalizing it in your brain, and Satan's like pushing
subconscious.
back. No, yeah, and I know, and like I think like cussing is one too. Like listening to music that has cussing in it, listening to movies that have cussing in it. Like it's so we're hearing it all the time.
2 fish.
Wow.
What do we do?
Just try to be better.
Don't watch Harry Potter. I know that's what Ross was wanting to talk about, but
Wayne is very anti.
Too bad. Oh yeah, I know.
I don't know. You are anti Harry Potter, which I'm not a Harry Potter fan.
I didn't say I was anti Harry Potter.
Are you anti Harry Potter?
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I mean, I don't think promoting and like encouraging witchcraft among children is probably a good idea, personally.
Yeah,
but
I mean, because of it,
says that in the
kids
Bible,
probably
so.
do jump around with a wand whenever
stick.
they're playing.
Oh yeah, well no, and they say spells and like they want to be witches and like want to practice magic.
Do they?
They do. We did.
I mean, I watched it
as a kid.
But
no, I watched it like
Star Wars.
a month or two ago.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's marketing towards kids who don't always distinguish like reality and non-reality the best. And so like they're watching like you watch like 20 hours or I don't know 10 hours of probably 20 hours. There's 10 movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
20 hours of like witchcraft. Like and this isn't even like I know Ross is like Star Wars or something is witchcraft. He said that to me one time like last
the
week.
Night Wish sisters.
Right, but like I mean I think it's like Harry Potter is like straight up.
Yeah.
Like wizards and witches and spells and cauldrons and the dark arts and like straight up magic stuff, which to me feels different than
that Star
R2D2.
Wars is on the right side of the line because you like Star Wars.
Well, number one, I mean, I'm biased, obviously.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a difference. Like Star Wars, it doesn't talking about witchcraft.
There is a lot of
Harry
woke
Potter
stuff
is.
in it these days now.
Well, and I don't watch it. I don't watch new Star Wars. Like I don't watch like gay, lesbian.
Did you watch Visions?
Rise of Skywalker. Oh, yeah,
I watched the anime one. Some people think anime is like satanic.
It probably
I don't know if I disagree.
Well, this has been podcast. If anyone wants to answer it, I love to.
Well, why don't you say your thoughts?
I don't know the answer.
Well, why don't you try though?
Well, just say your take.
know.
Like, what do
Instead
you have
of just
coming
saying
out
I
of
don't
this
know and ending the
podcast?
podcast.
Final
My
thoughts.
answer is
coming out
I
of
don't
the
know.
podcast.
But what do you think?
That's what I think. I think it's too. There's too much.
It's too much, but like,
The
do you think that
world is
people should
falling.
like try to like maybe avoid it or?
Like maybe cutting out certain movies or music?
I don't know.
You got to take a.
What I
step.
know
It's for
is
the viewers.
I like the old Christian playlist.
Yeah, and that's good. So, do you think that it's worth it for you to like, and take away like social? If you're just like on your own, I think take away social settings so it's easier to answer. But if you're just on your own, like, do you think maybe it's probably not worth it to listen to like bad music? Which I mean, I do sometimes. So, like, I was running and I was listening to 50 Cent the other day.
I think that if the company supports Satan, you should not buy from that company.
That's every company.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A?
Except for Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby.
I guess Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A are the only good ones.
Mardell, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You
Is that
need,
what
a,
it is?
Bass Pro.
you need a grocery store though.
We will make
Price Chopper's Catholic.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it almost certainly.
I mean,
the
Costantino's
Costantino's.
is
Just because the owners are Catholic doesn't mean the business is.
Oh,
It is. They own the business.
But that doesn't mean they promote
But
Catholic
see,
values.
that's the problem. There's
You
bad
get
workers
Christmas
in
off.
every
Are they
business
opened
that
on
you are
Sundays?
supporting.
Sabbath is on the Saturday.
Are they open on Saturdays?
I take it off.
Farmers
Do they-
market.
right,
You go to
exactly.
the farmers market. Buy from
Yeah.
the farmers.
Or Amish?
True. Amish too.
Yet you guys won't.
The Amish sell expired food.
Oh no, I mean I don't think I'm gonna change my shopping habits leaving.
But will you
this
change your
podcast.
music and movie habits?
I've been already taking steps with music. I mean, I still do. I have been mostly listening to Christian music, but I do still listen to a lot non. But no, Christian is the biggest one where I do need to phase it out.
Phase it
Movies, I don't think I'm going to really change. I don't watch movies alone. I watch movies with people. So it's like
You've
TV
never seen a
shows.
movie alone.
if you're with people, I do
TV
think that you
shows.
need to loosen up on the strictness.
Never go to the bathroom.
I don't really
alone
watch
at Worlds of
TV
Fun.
shows either.
Why do you think you
alone.
should loosen up on the strictness?
Because I think that you could be missing out on like fellowship with people. Like if they're like not as in tune with their faith as you and stuff, it's like I just can't hang around them. If I don't think it's a sin to watch like a movie or
I mean,
stuff,
what if you say about, hey, why don't we do something else?
but if it's watching
Let's
a
not
movie
watch The
that's
Wolf of
rated
Wall Street.
PG-13,
Let's not watch The Wolf of Wall Street.
It's a good movie.
Let's
Like-
watch the Mario Bros instead, or
but
know.
I don't see. But the thing is, like, I mean, I don't think I'm watching The Wolf of Wall Street and I'm seeing all the drugs and sex, and it doesn't like. I think I'm strong enough in my faith to where like seeing that like.
Are your friends who you aren't Christian strong enough in their faith?
But they're gonna watch it regardless.
But you could stand out and be like, oh, Ross is serious about this.
I mean,
Like
I
to
could
me,
say,
like I think like a Christian who like listens to
Sean.
50 Cent,
That's good.
50 Cent.
Yeah.
Yeah, like whatever you just said, and like
50.
watches Wolf of Wall Street with no problem. Like watches like Game of Thrones, like all
No,
this like
like,
sex and stuff, and
while
just like
you're
no
watching
problem,
it,
and
you're
doesn't
like,
say
that's
anything,
wrong.
and doesn't.
It's not like you're watching it.
Are
and
you
you're like,
saying
oh,
that?
that's right.
Are you saying that to
I mean,
people
in my
the
head,
real?
I'm thinking like,
Well, but no, that's so. What I'm saying
but
is,
they know my stance on it.
but you're
Like
not
if I'm
doing anything.
if I'm in a
about
group
it.
with people, like if
like
I'm
in
sitting
their
down,
head, I feel
we're
like they're
watching a
like,
movie,
oh, Ross says he's a Christian,
Silence
but
is
he's not doing like
compliance.
he's fine watching this sex filled like thing with us. So what lines does he draw?
But like I just feel like that's not like I just don't think it matters that much. And if there's 3 of them and they voted they want to watch this movie and my vote doesn't matter, it's like I don't think it's worth it for me to like. I don't think I'm gonna leave the room.
No, I'm not saying necessarily need to leave the room, but be like, I don't want to watch that. It has a bunch of sex in it. They don't word it like that necessarily.
I mean, no. I mean, I
But
could
like
say
because
that.
then you say that.
No, I'm saying I could.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
But I don't. I mean, I still don't think I will.
and what I'm asking is why.
Because I mean, I already said
He
it.
doesn't wanna be a
If they're
social
watching the
outcast.
movie anyway,
But
they
like,
know my stance on it.
do you think that you should stand out as a Christian?
I mean, I do with how I act.
Make them wonder what you got.
But you're not standing it. You're just complying and like not saying anything, just watching the movie and enjoying the sex.
But they know my stance on the
And you
actual
like
issues
it.
that are displayed on the in the
It's his
movies.
king.
Like they know that I don't do drugs. They know I don't drink alcohol.
But they know that you're
They-
okay watching and supporting it on TV.
Yeah,
The
and it's just
problem-
like I'll hang out with my friends whenever they're drinking, and
Here's-
I'm not.
No, Here's the
and do you
problem.
think
I'm not
that's
saying
wrong?
don't hang out with them. No, I'm saying maybe just like you can just like say something, and maybe you even still do it anyway. But at
Yeah.
least they'll know. They're like you can be like, you
Yeah.
know, if you guys really want to watch it, it's fine. But I don't, you know.
No, I mean,
Find-
I'll
find
say
a
that
good way to
sometimes. Like,
phrase
they'll
it.
talk about a movie, and I'll be like, "Oh, it just has like too much sex in it," which is
Yeah,
unfortunate.
no,
but then I
that's
watch
good.
it. I say that sometimes. It's like,
Well, then that's all I'm talking about.
yeah, but like what I'm saying is like I don't think it's wrong for me to watch the movie in that scenario. If I was
Yeah.
watching the movie and I'm like, "Oh yeah, this alcohol, like man, I want to do this. This looks really fun. This looks awesome. Great."
But
time."
isn't that what we're talking about? Should you support companies that support non-Christian values?
I mean, we did talk about that.
Should
I
you
think
still watch them?
with at that time with supporting the companies, it's like, I mean, at one point, like you just can't shop anywhere anymore because there's a worker in there that isn't a Christian or something. It's like, or there's a
Does not
worker in
control
there,
where the money goes.
but the worker still gets paid. Like the worker
Or
still
you could
sees
just
some
talk
money.
about
Value-based
anyone
marketing
in the
controls
company.
it.
That's what like it all goes down. Like it's the entire company.
Trickle down economics.
Like I'm still supporting that worker by shopping at that store, and it's just. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and I'm just like lazy. But I just think it's too hard. I mean, that's a bad take, probably, that it's just too hard. But it's like, it's just everywhere. And then I have to buy more expensive food and shopping like small business, which obviously like love for money is bad and stuff. But like if I'm saving for like good stuff and like, I mean, I'm pretty money minded like person where it's like I don't to spend
for me,
more than I should.
Like a lot of the time, like the thought doesn't even like cross my mind.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like if people are like, let's go see John Wick, right? My first thought is should be like, is that the right thing to do as a Christian?
Yeah.
But instead, my first thought is,
sounds like
how
fun.
much money will that cost me?
Or
do I want to see the movie? Or,
Is
you
it
know,
good?
so is it good? What's the letterbox score? Not like, what should I do as a Christian? And like, that's a problem that, like, that my thinking is flawed, I think.
I mean, I agree. Being aware of it is definitely a good thing. And like money.
Isn't Keanu Reeves Christian?
He's
I mean,
Sigma.
I mean, John Wick isn't.
Chris Pratt.
The actor.
Chris Pratt said the F word in Marvel.
They made him say it specifically, by the way.
No, I know, because
They chose
There.
This has been Second King.
Wait, anybody have any besides me? I already talked. I think Wyatt already answered the final. Any
Goodbye.
final thoughts from either of you guys? Any changes that you're gonna make to your life?
I don't.
I will not watch Harry Potter.
We will continue using them as the thumbnail, though.
I will also not watch Harry Potter.
Or read
Harry
Percy
Potter was
Jackson.
good.
It's
Also, I've
witchcraft.
read
I
Percy
watched it.
Jackson.
I was
It's
forced
also
to watch
good.
It's
it one
false
time
gods.
in Spanish in my Spanish class, and I hated it. So
But
I
like,
will
see,
never-
whenever I watch like something like Percy Jackson, it's
I'm
like
not worshiping.
I'm not like, man, these gods are real. Like, and it's like, I think that there's definitely some things that you could do, and it's like, I don't think it's making you worse while watching. It's just entertainment. And
But
like,
do
you
think
draw the
that
line
do you
saying all
think-
entertainment.
Do you think
is
it
bad.
adds an arrow in the devil's quiver?
I don't think it does. It might add like a 16th of an arrow.
just
but-
the feathers.
Yeah, it might add a feather, but as long as I'm still getting my daily Bible reading in, doing my
Just
daily
as long as
prayers
your
and stuff,
works balances out the Percy Jackson.
that's
then it
not what I'm
all
saying.
ends up
But
okay.
it's a mindset.
He
though.
drops down to 99, but the Bible brings him back up to 100.
Yeah, thank
Like,
goodness. for
whenever,
that.
but it's like whenever you read like on the days when I read the Bible, night and day difference from the days I do not, and it's like just my mindset is just right normally, and I feel like I could call out sin easier, and it's just like more locked in, got the priorities right.
Is there any kind of conclusion here?
That's the problem.
The conclusion is be more conscious,
Be more
of
aware,
it,
yeah.
and try to make moves. Like I think music is probably the easiest
different
one.
for everyone.
Just music, if you're listening to music alone, that's probably the easiest one. I think music is probably the biggest impact because songs get stuck in your
But then,
head.
so should we listen to exclusively Christian music?
I don't think it has to be just. There are like songs that aren't Christian that like aren't promoting like bad morally things, or like it could be also like
Not
movie
worth it.
scores.
I mean, it's a good example.
Or like
Movie
movie
scores
scores
are
are
so
fine. It's like if it's just like instruments, or as long as it's like there definitely are musics that aren't like Christian where they like talk about God and stuff, but they
There are songs that are not
Still
good,
good.
and there are songs that cross a very clear line, in my opinion.
can you give some examples?
I just did, and I got yelled at for it.
What's
got
a song?
mad.
What's a song that's not a Christian song that you think could be good, or that's like fine?
Like Kanye. Like, it's not
Which
Christian.
Kanye?
Like, Kanye West.
RoboCop.
Okay, but that's not
Like,
because there are a lot of Kanye songs where I don't listen to anymore. Like it's hard for me because like there are
but
just,
like, that's, like,
Like I think
I don't know. There
I
are
think it's
songs that
okay
are
to
not
listen to like
Christian
Gordon
that I
Lightfoot.
think it's, like,
I
fine.
don't think he's Christian.
like
There's a Guardian song, George Harrison, "My Sweet Lord."
yeah.
If you know that song,
I'm aware.
and it's like satanic.
Is it really?
Unfortunately, so maybe throw it off the
Well,
playlist.
I guess I have to. I like that
No,
song.
yeah, or it's not.
Why?
Well, it's not because like number one, George Harrison is Buddhist or something, or Hindu or some nonsense, and nonsense respectfully.
But at
and
the
like
same
and like
time,
the
all
words and like the
religions are
stuff he
false
says are
except
like
for
weird
ours.
like Indian like worship words. Like
Really?
it's not English like he says in there sometimes. And like my sweet Lord like is not Jesus. It's like
But see, what if
the
I thought
Lord-
it was a
the
Christian
Lord
song?
Buddha. No,
Then is it-
I did, and I was like, oh, I know he was a
definitely did, too.
Beatle, so probably not Christian. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh,
But in that scenario, obviously, like once you
I'm mad that
know,
you told me this.
I will.
yeah, because
I mean,
once
it
you
is.
know,
Like, he's saying,
I feel
like-
like you can support it. But like before I knew, like I thought it was talking about like like Jesus.
No,
and,
I'm mad because every
I do
time I
too.
listen to it, I'm gonna think of that.
Yeah,
It's
and you're
gonna
gonna
No,
like when
now
you're singing
sour
along
taste.
and you're
You
saying
ruined
like
it, for
my
sure.
sweet Lord, you're worshiping Buddha when you say that.
but
What
it-
if I just mean? What if I mean Lord?
I don't know. I've thought the same thing, and I don't. It just doesn't feel right to listen to.
now it
anymore.
doesn't because of what you said to us. Thank
Well, you're
you.
welcome for giving you the red pill.
But like
But
I
another
could've used
example,
that music
another
to
example of
worship.
Guardian song, "Spirit in the Sky,"
that is
is
a
Christian.
song. Yeah,
Well, he says explicitly like, "I've got a friend in Jesus," and like he
Yeah.
that. And
it is a pretty good song.
Norman
It is a good
something.
song.
I want to listen to it.
Greenbaum maybe.
Yeah, I think
yeah. So like that. So there's a Guardians example of a song that doesn't really sound like it, but it is like bad. I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is like kind of we do need to wrap up pretty soon, but I think a lot of Muslims they are like really like anti music, and like I saw like on a YouTube short or something, it was like this one guy was like talking about like he was a Muslim and he was talking about like how he like cannot go into like stores because like they'll be playing music and he like it's just like
Yeah, so like what
they're
do you,
just so anti.
like what do you think of like if a band like if music is not explicitly Christian but it's also not like
Explicitly anti-Christian.
Gordon
Yeah.
Lightfoot.
like
yeah, Gordon Lightfoot's a good like.
or like the Beach Boys or something. I don't think they're
Don't
Christian.
tell me I have to cut out. The Beach
Unfortunately,
Boys.
a lot
I
of
mean,
Beach
but that's
Boys
the
are bad.
debate. If it's
Like
not
what?
glorifying
Like-
God, should I listen to
What
it?
Beach Boys is bad?
Like, I mean, I get around. Like, we know what it's
Yeesh.
about.
Uh-oh.
We know what it's about, but I love the song
It's
so
around the
much.
beach.
Yeah, he's getting around
It's
in
like
his car.
in the beginning. it's
Also,
like in the
no,
top
I
part,
used Beach Boys as an example because I know that that's one that you care about.
Oh, I mean, Beach
Oh,
Boys
no,
are
no.
in my top 5
Yeah.
most listened to artists
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I think like it's,
I think I had 4
it
Beach
can-
Boys
it can be
songs in my
song.
top
It can be
5.
like. Oh,
I don't-
Kokomo was like I think like my number 3 or something.
I don't know
Yeah.
if they are Christian or not.
Oh
should
no, I
not,
was like
but-
maybe it's like a song by song basis.
Oh
It's
no, it
still
definitely
it's
is
the-
because
it's still
Kanye
like-
has. Think about
But
Kanye.
it's a-
Kanye
but
has
it's
these
a-
Well,
great
but Kanye
songs.
like made a distinct shift to start making Christian music.
But after
That's
that
different
shift,
than-
there's still songs that I say don't listen
It's.
to.
I mean, it's supporting
I
a
didn't know that.
non-Christian institution. It just goes back to everything we've been
Well,
talking.
Yeah, I know. We're still
Like-
stuck on the debate. Like, even if it's not explicitly anti-Christian, what if it's not glorifying God? Should you still listen to it?
I think
Gordon
as long as
Lightfoot
it's
is
not
an
making
example.
you like.
But then that's also these cheese balls.
I know.
Not
That's what I'm saying.
explicitly,
I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Which I think we still don't know the answer. Which I think it may be unanswerable. I think we need to do more.
But I mean, there are
and
obviously
read about it.
there are some things that are so much
But, I mean,
easier
like,
to
it's
change
not like-
than others too. Like if it's easy to change, then maybe we should make that change.
Yeah.
I am surprised that of all
Change the
the.
easy to change ones.
Michael Jackson actually has a song on this.
I'm surprised that of all the topics we covered, this is the one stumping us.
I mean,
This is the hardest one.
This is maybe the hardest
it,
one.
feel
it's
like it's
hard
not.
because
Well, then what's the answer?
I don't know,
Ross
but
like it's hard, but it's easy.
That's what Philip just said too.
it's hard because if we go the full like we can't do this, then
Like, whenever-
our lives change so dramatically to where we can't like.
But you can't make exceptions. That's the problem.
what I meant was like whenever you
You
guys
can.
suggested this topic, I was like,
The
oh, that's gonna be so
exceptions
easy.
break
Yeah.
the rule. The rule
Yeah.
is only like support things that praise
But
Jesus.
I mean, I think so. If you're
if that's the rule,
But
you
you're
can't
saying.
have any exceptions.
But this is the issue.
but
like
following that rule with a few exceptions
flawed.
is flawed, but it's better than not following the rule at all.
yes, exactly. It's
also,
like-
to reach non-Christians, I think you have to break that rule too.
To reach them, but I think also to reach non-Christians, you have to follow that rule. Like you do have to make stands, and
Yeah,
you can't
it's-
just be
it's
like okay
both.
with living in the world.
Oh
Yeah.
w-
And it all goes
obviously,
back to when I said context.
If you love
Maybe.
the world, then the love of the Father is not in you. I think it says something like that in 1 John.
All right. Well, this has been Second Kings podcast. I think
Yep.
we're I think we don't know the
So
answer.
can we listen to
Wrapped up.
Beach Boys?
I will continue.
We can't
listening to Beach
give a
Boys.
hard yes, but I think we could all try to be better. It's a final note.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Adios.